Oh, I'm finally home. It's been a while. Those first 3 months of college really flew by, to be honest, and they were difficult. It was a hard adjustment to make, but I'm really glad to be home for Thanksgiving. It was actually 3 months ago today. It was August 19th that I moved in, so I've been away from home for just about 3 months. And I've been really eager to get home and start working on my tractors because a lot of things have changed around here, and I'll make an update video for you guys. Actually, a couple videos. I have a bunch of videos coming. But first things first. I think everyone likes cold starts, and my two tractors, the John Deere 210 and the 316, haven't been run since way before I left. The 210 actually hasn't run since the end of July. The last time I ran was when I brought it home from the 4-H fair. I had to limp it home in second gear because the transmission shifter springs went out and it would only shift into one gear. So I had to limp it home, and then as soon as I parked it in the garage, I dropped the transmission out of it, and that was it. It hasn't been started since. It's actually, I have the transmission. I sent it out to a guy who works at our John Deere dealership. He's like the local know-it-all for these garden tractors. He's got like 60 of them, he told me, and he always works on the older ones, and he takes the older ones in on trade when they show up at the dealer. So he's got a pretty big collection, and he's worked on a ton of these, so he knows how to take apart the transmissions and everything, and how to replace the D10 springs and all that stuff. And he said he's done it so much that he would just charge me for the parts instead of the labor, because it's basically like a routine for him. So that was good. He saved me a little bit of money there. So I'm just waiting for him to give me a call and tell me when it's done, and then I'll get the transmission back here, drop it in, and get the fenders on, and get the sleeve hitch and the weight bracket on. And then I'll set up my Brindley plow, and I'll have it ready for PA Plow Day in April. So it hasn't done much. When I left, it was sitting over here, and my mom actually dragged it over to here, and I just put it up on jack stands. So yeah, it hasn't run since late July. I checked the oil. The oil's good in it. Even though it was sitting on a slant because it was sitting on a couple blocks on the floor, I just propped it up on jack stands. I hooked up the fuel line, and I actually did not put stable in it. For some reason, I just never really took a liking to using stable. Probably just because I'm so used to running my tractor so much. But this tractor and the 316 both have a brand new battery, so I would be surprised if they would be dead or low or whatever. So we'll start this thing up, let it run for a minute or two before my parents give me hell for running the tractor in the garage, especially on a cold start, so it's going to smell, but oh well. Let's bring this old Kohler to life. The fuel line was disconnected, so I had to hook it back up. It's probably not got gas in it, so. Yeah, she's cold. Well, at least the battery has a charge. That's good. I mean, that is a brand new battery, so there's no reason it shouldn't. She must not be getting fuel. I don't know. We'll just have to keep messing with it. There we go. But, yeah, the fuel line was disconnected, so it didn't have any gas up in it. That's why it had to crank so much. Let's blow the cobwebs out of it. I'm not sure if you can see in the video, but there's cobwebs all over the side panels and everything. That rattling noise is the variator pulley because it's because the dry belts kind of hanging off of it. It's not tight to it, so the pulleys are wobbling. I can't wait to take this thing to PA Plow Day and see how it does. It did a pretty good job plowing my uncle's back 40 earlier this year. I plowed probably an acre with it, and it seemed to have plenty of power. All I had were 2 suitcase weights on the front, and I had no wheel weights on the back. And she pulled right through it. And it was wet too, it had just rained. So I love using these gear drives for pulling attachments, like working in the garden. Hydrostats are a little different, but I'd rather use this than the 316. Here's the tires and weights and everything. Here's the fenders, other stuff. I still have to get rid of this Rubbermaid cart and this Power Flow bagger. If anyone's interested, let me know. I've been kind of thinking ahead to what I'm going to do when I rebuild this engine. I mean, it's fine as it is right now, but you know, at some point, I mean, it is original. At some point, it is going to need to be rebuilt. So it needs a new carburetor because it has the smaller throat carburetor from the 10-horse motor. So it runs a little bit lean. It doesn't quite make as much power as it should, but I mean, that doesn't really bother me right now. Alright, not bad. Once I get the transmission in, the next priority on the list for this is a new PTO clutch. Long story with that, but the one that's on it is kind of foobarred. So, like I said, it's a long story, but I'm looking for a brand new PTO clutch, which is not going to be cheap, but who knows, maybe I can get it as like a partial Christmas present or something. But yeah, that's, aside from rebuilding the engine, you know, so many years from now, I think once I get a new PTO clutch and a new pulley for my mower deck, it should be a good mowing tractor and a plow day tractor. So, unless I decide to get hydraulic lift for it, but I don't know. So. Alright, that wasn't too bad. A little more cranking than I expected, but I forgot that the fuel line came off. I'll do a cold start on my truck soon. It hasn't started in probably a week or two. But let's do the 316 first. I still got it. I'm really trying to get rid of it. I have a guy who says he wants to buy it, but I don't know. I hate when people leave you hanging like that. Yeah, there's a lot of crap in this shed, that's for sure. Have to open this up and get this lawn sweeper out. More on that in a minute. Here's our old Brindley. Yeah, my dad had to pull this out and turn it around so he could get some of the Christmas decorations out and put some of the pool stuff in. Alright, let's see. I have to get a new choke cable for it. The knob broke off. And of course, you can't buy the knob. You have to buy the whole cable. Well, battery still lights up. That's good. Let's see what she does. The choke on this is a little picky because the carburetor's messed up, so... Oops, not in neutral. Yeah, it's hard to do this with one hand because you have to like mess with the choke a little bit. Let me check and see if there's gas in the tank. There should be, but... yeah, there's gas in it. I filled it up to mow with it before I left, and I only mowed with it once, so... Wow, she's really being stubborn. I don't usually like to run these or start them wide open, but if it's not getting gas, I mean... Alright, check the three things. Okay, so I checked the spark plug gap on both plugs. Open the door here. I checked the spark plug gap. I pulled the plugs out and hooked them up to the wires and touched them to the metal. And they were both sparking, so that's good. It's got oil in it. I took the air cleaner off, dribbled a little gas in the carb, and let's see what happens. Huh. Well, that's disappointing. Let me pour a little more gas in the carb and let's see if we can get it running. I don't know if I'll get the start on video, but let's see. Let's see. God help us. There we go. Look at all this smoke and crap blowing out of it. Forgot she likes to creep. I'll have to work on that. Yeah, it's actually on top of my foot right now to keep it from moving. It's still got some issue with the safety switch, and I don't know why. Yeah, something's wrong with the safety switch. I'm not sure what, but got to be careful backing this thing out of here. Sorry about that. Well, that was a lot more eventful than it needed to be. At least she still runs. I bet you a carburetor rebuild will take care of it, but honestly, I don't have the money to spend on that right now because the kit's like 60, 70 bucks, if not more. This machine's a little funny. I think carburetor rebuild is, or should be the top priority. Someone buys this machine. I just don't have the time to work on it, really. On the bigger and better things. I'll show that at the end of the video. Sorry this video is so long, but there's lots of cool stuff for you guys to see. Let's put all my crap away here. Yeah, I had a guy at the county fair. He wanted to buy this thing for his son. He offered $600 for it, so honestly, I think that's about as much as it's worth. I can clean it up a little bit more and try and get some more kinks out of it, but it's not a bad machine. It's just got, like, the stuff that's wrong with it is just stupid little stuff. So my dad's been just rolling it in and out when he has to make room in the shed. So yeah, it needs like a new choke cable. It needs a light switch. I actually bought a new light switch for it, but it wouldn't fit in the slot there, which is kind of strange, even though it was the correct part number. So I couldn't get the headlights to work anyway. So it's got some weird electrical issue, but half the time it only likes to run if it's in neutral. So and it creeps when you move the hydraulic lever too. I don't know what that's about. I can still cut the grass one more time. I'm going to have to clean up the leaves. Seems to run pretty good at a higher RPM, so I don't know why the previous owner would rebuild the engine and not even touch the carburetor. It's a little strange, but so yeah, there's the 316 for you. I'll try and work on it, fix a couple things on it here and there, and then I really need it gone now. And I'll show you why in a minute. I don't need this thing anymore. So that's it for the 316. Be back in a minute. Okay, so it's been running probably a half hour now. I'm just kind of waking it up and It seems to be okay. It's not having safety switch issues like it was before. It might be like a loose ground or something that's causing it to do that, but I don't know if you saw in the video, but when it went to shut off, all I had to do was push the brake in and that took care of it. So, and it doesn't seem to stall with the PTO engaged either. So, that's alright, I guess. I'm just testing it out. I want to mow with it for a little bit to see if it blows a fuse again. I was going to make 2 more parts to this video, but for the sake of viewer boredom, and I have a habit of making ridiculously long videos, I figured we'll just finish it off with a cold start in my truck. I thought it had been sitting for months and months and months, but my parents told me that my grandfather was using it every once in a while. He'd take it out every, like maybe once a week or so, so it's probably been about a week and a half since it's been started, and I actually haven't driven it since I got home yesterday, so it's still been sitting. I put a new battery in it a few months ago, changed all the fluids before I left, and replaced the power steering pump. So, yeah, my grandfather's definitely been in this thing. Have to adjust the seat. Let's fire this thing up. You guys can hear what the exhaust sounds like, too. Man, I missed that sound. That is an accelerator single in dual out 14-inch oval muffler. It's not like a MagnaFlow or Flowmaster or any of that. It's supposed to be like a knockoff of a MagnaFlow. It sounds just as good to me. Obviously, dual straight out the back. 3.5-inch miter cut tips. You get the most exhaust velocity if it goes straight out the back instead of like dumping out in front of the rear wheels, which in my opinion is kind of stupid. You need as much exhaust flow out the back as you can get, so it's best to have the exhaust pipes going straight out the back. They kept the original Y pipe. I would have rather had MagnaFlow high flow catalytic converters in the MagnaFlow X pipe crossover. But all they did was cut off the old muffler right at the front of it, and they welded this new muffler in, so it should last me a few years. If it, you know, if I decide I don't like it, I can always cut the muffler out, put a different one in, or I might actually, what I'm thinking of doing is actually cutting out the cats, putting MagnaFlow cats in it, and a crossover X pipe. Yeah, this truck is dirty. 72 degrees. We're 3 weeks into November and it's freaking 72 degrees. So, I don't know what that's about. Up at school 4 hours away, it's been getting into like the 40s and 50s during the day. So, yeah, there's a wasp in here. That's a sign that it's too warm. Come on, get out. There you go. Let's see how she sounds. Sounds good to me. I mean, it's no performance or racing muffler, but for daily driving, it's just right. No drone, and it's not like annoying rattling in your ear going down the highway, so that's good enough for me. So that concludes this video. I have another one that I'm going to make. It'll be a special one. It'll be a follow-up to the one that I posted Friday night. Yeah, I'm going to take this truck out and have a little fun with it right now. Reunite with an old friend, I guess. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. It's good to be back.